This is a $300 wooden box. Well, we have to unpack it, but is it really a $300 wooden humidor? Boveda has a new wooden humidor series that finally bridges the gap between plastic bins and a luxury wooden humidor that usually bleak, frankly. Look, I'm not coming at this cold. I love what Boveda does. This isn't a neutral review. I don't want you to think of it as that. This is a real world test and a first look at this great humidor that they've put together. I want to know if this thing gives you that perfect airtight performance seal that a coolador will give you in a setup that actually looks like a serious wooden humidor. Now, stay tuned because at the end of this, I'm going to teach you an old school tobacconist trick. We call it the wallet test, and that is get out your wallet because we're going to be testing this thing and we're going to figure out whether or not it's a waste of money or whether Boveda has a winner here. Okay, so I'm going to grab my trusty box knife. I love these box knives. These are by Newson. Really great for opening up cigar boxes. I might have to buy these and send them to some retailers. So we're not a review channel here, folks. We make cigars, but I thought it was a great opportunity to take a look at a product that a partner of ours, that's been a phenomenal partner, has put together. I really wanted to get my hands on one of these for quite some time now, and I've been waiting to make this video. So this thing's been sitting in the corner waiting for me to get ready to actually film it because I've looked these up, but I've not actually seen the unboxing and its completion. So I wanted to, oh my goodness, it's heavy. I did not expect that. Oh my goodness. So the box is well padded. This is about the worst case scenario for shipment that you could ever have because I'm down here in our beautiful factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. This box has been shipped from wherever they made it. Looks like China. So they made it there, but it got shipped from China to the United States where Boveda's warehouse is. Then it went to Miami, and then from Miami, it took a boat ride actually down here to Nicaragua to meet me. So I've been ecstatic to get this thing unboxed, and I'm a bit of a packaging fan, so I'm liking this. And like I said, this is like a worst case scenario for packaging. So if you live in some really remote area and you've been holding off getting one of these because you're afraid of what it'll look like when it shows up, this is what mine looks like, and it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, just take a look at that. I mean, they really went all out on the packaging here. So Boveda 50 count humidor, Boveda humidor 50 count. Now, 50 cigars, you can always fit a lot more cigars in these things. That's kind of one of the things you learn. A lot of times they do that scale based on, Churchills or something like that. All right, so really nice unpack there. It's got a manual in here. I don't think you actually need this, so I don't know why Boveda included this, but I'll read it later. So, all right, let's take a look here. It just the smell of this deep wood is powerful, really, really powerful. Oh my goodness! I mean, that is. It almost looks from this angle. It almost has a very deep black look to it, but it arrived in perfect condition. So they have really packaged this thing excellently because I was a little bit worried about that. They're going to ship it all the way down here to Nicaragua, and I'm going to receive this $300 humidor broken, but that's not at all the case here. This is beautifully packaged. It says "Love your cigars" there. Of course, we love our cigars, and yeah, nice presentation, Boveda. Yeah, cheers on that. Much lighter, but still quite beefy. Holding it in one hand here, and I got to turn it around. I got to have it face me. I'll have you guys look at the overhead for this for the first open. All right, and we got a U-line baggie here. I assume that is bracing some things. We get a cleaning cloth. That's pretty nice. You don't even get those with your iPhones anymore, folks. So we get 3 of the 84%. That's the 84% relative humidity at 60 grams. And I do know this about it. These are used for priming the humidor, where, you know, we used to prime the humidor in cigar shops by taking some distilled water and a clean cloth, never a terry cloth, but we would actually use a sponge like you would find at the craft store, and we would actually paint the inside very gently to help ease a nice humidor into humidification. Then we have here 69%. That's what Boveda has recommended for my use case. Quick note on that, if you've ever tried Boveda and you weren't thrilled with the results, it might be because of what percentage you chose. A lot of people will know from previous videos of mine, I often prefer about a 62%. However, down here in Nicaragua, where we have a lot higher humidity, those cigars are going to transition much smoother running at that 69. So Boveda's recommended I try out the 69 for this, and I'm going to take them up on it. So yeah, that is definitely some Spanish cedar, which you don't really find that all that often these days with really well made humidors. Even a lot of them have had to move over to other materials. So this is quite interesting here. So you have a QR code that's right here in the box. And my understanding is you can use that to access your account, so you can have a subscription of these 320 grams. This is a lot larger than what a lot of people are using in those cooladors. But you can have these auto shipped to you, or you can do what I would do is go to your local tobacconist and just ask your local tobacconist to carry these for you, and go ahead and, you know, buy a gross of those at a time. In my case, I have 2 of these now. I haven't opened them yet. This is the first time I'm opening them, but I went ahead and got 2 of them, so that's going to last me quite a bit of time. You just set a timer on your phone or something like that, so you know when to replace it. So a couple of things that I understand about this is that you don't actually need to season right away. If you wanted to use it right away, my understanding, and hopefully I'm not getting this wrong for the Boveda folks, is you can go ahead and put cigars right in this. However, they're going to ride that thermal and humidity wave as they're kind of coming up to humidity. The humidor itself is going to be absorbing quite a bit of humidity, so that's going to wear out your pack a little bit faster if you chose to go that route. But my understanding is if you're in a pinch and you want to go ahead and load these up, or you're going out of town like I am in a couple of days, I could go ahead and load this up with cigars, put the Boveda in there, and the Boveda technology just takes over the rest. So we're going to test that out as well on a later story. But so for years, cigar smokers have had to make a choice. You can go with a plastic style storage because it's simple and stable and low maintenance, or you can go with a nice wooden humidor because it looks right, it feels right, it gives you a classic cigar presentation when you're getting your favorite cigar out. What makes this Boveda humidor interesting is that it's clearly trying to bridge those 2 worlds closer together between the coolador and the humidor. This is a 50 count wooden humidor built around Boveda's system from the start, not an afterthought. So they haven't come at this without understanding where they were trying to go, which unfortunately is a lot of humidification solutions for cigars. This humidor is specifically engineered to maximize that 2-way humidity control. Inside you get a 1/2 inch of Spanish cedar liner. That matters because the cedar is part of that classic humidor experience. It supports storage, aging, and overall preservation of the cigars in a way that plastic just simply doesn't do. The humidor also comes with a full system approach. The seasoning packets for the setup, then the 320 gram pack for the first 6 months of storage. That's a much bigger pack, as we were talking about, than what most cigar smokers would use in those standard desktop humidors. I've been guilty of putting too small a pack in a long-term storage solution. One of the smartest details that Boveda has built into this is a dedicated Spanish cedar holder for that 320 gram pack. It locks into place using rare earth magnets, keeps the humidity and source off of the cigars, preserves that stable, usable space inside of the box, which is really key here. The hardware also looks really well thought out. Recessed hinges that open at 90-degree angles, which gives the humidor more of a finished furniture feel and keeps the lead stable when you're reaching for cigars. Then there's the weight and construction. Boveda says this humidor comes in at about 8 pounds with thick Spanish cedar on the inside, so it's not being sold as a thin decorative box. It's being sold as a serious storage piece that happens to look the part. The real appeal here is not just luxury, it's convenience, presentation. The promise is simple: less guesswork, less maintenance, a cleaner humidity control than what you would typically receive on a normal wooden humidor. The real appeal here is not just luxury, it's convenience with presentation. The promise is simple: less guesswork, less maintenance, cleaner humidity control, and a wooden humidor that feels more modern in how it actually performs with that integrated Boveda solution. So let's go ahead and go through a couple of the things that I mentioned earlier that we would test at a cigar shop whenever we got in multiple humidors. Okay, so now we're gonna do the wallet test. So the wallet test is, you get out your wallet. I don't really want to show you my wallet, it's pretty ugly. I need to get a new wallet. So pull out some US dollars. Needs to be US dollars. I don't know how this performs with other currencies, simply because US dollars are kind of that linen feel. And then what we're gonna do is just gently close the lead on it, and we should see that it should actually grip that dollar, and it's gripping quite well. Of course, this is an 8-pound humidor in a 50 count presentation. I think a lot of that weight is actually in the lead of this humidor because it is substantially grabbing that dollar. So that is a great test if you have a good seal, is that it will create just a bit of friction. You can actually see that my dollar is getting curled over and frayed. So this is a test that we would do on any humidor that we would recommend to someone in the cigar shop, is we would see whether or not it will actually bite the dollar or whether or not it would just slide right out. If it slides right out, then you have a humidor that probably won't hold humidity very well. And this passes the test with flying colors, so that's fantastic. Good work on Boveda's part there. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up the humidor now. Go ahead and put this in so we can see how difficult the maintenance situation is. That fits in there absolutely beautifully. Very no-brainer to put this together. And that's it. that's your whole maintenance process summarized right there. Is put that in the top and you're ready to go. So now is probably a good time to talk about why this is a biased review. Well, we at Domain Cigars and Tabacalera Family Adisla love the products that Boveda puts out. They're incredibly consistent, they're reliable for us in manufacturing, and today, as far as we see it, there's really only 2 types of cigar companies, manufacturers, that are not shipping with Boveda. There's one, the people that don't age their cigars at all. In which case, if you enjoy those cigars, good on you. This is an even better way to keep those cigars that haven't been aged properly in a factory. The other way is if the cigar company just doesn't care about humidity and doesn't care about the product that they're shipping. That is terribly unfortunate because the cigars have a real probability of being damaged during shipping. We actually worked with Boveda to do the first integrated branding on our cigars because we wanted to keep our customers inside of our product experience, and they were phenomenal to work with. They've brought in some of the best talent that we could ask for in manufacturing to help drive that part of their business, and they're putting out really captivating products such as this. And I love how this Boveda logo looks because I wonder where they got the idea for this, because our Entropy cigars feature an integrated silver Boveda logo, and I think it's just the coolest thing in the world. And I would love to do more collaborations with Boveda in the future, especially on products like this. If you follow any of our events that we do with Domain Cigars, you already know that we've been customizing the Boveda New Air humidors and giving them away at events. So anytime you see an event for Domain Cigars, make sure you're there, because we always have cool stuff that we don't often talk about publicly very often. And this is actually one of them. We'll probably start giving away some of these humidors at some of our events as prizes and so on. But to summarize, this is an excellent humidor. I feel like it is bridging that gap between a coolador and a wooden humidor in a really significant way. Does it replace the type of luxury humidors that you see on the market that are handcrafted and customized exactly for you and your preferences? Absolutely not. But this does something in between. It perfectly aligns with when I was a desk engineer and I wanted to have a nice humidor at the office, and I wanted it to be a no-brainer. I went out and I brought an acrylic humidor, and if you go around any of the cigar forums, you'll find people all day long talking about humidor experiences gone wrong, and it's always too high or too low. This would have been a perfect solution for me to have a humidor at the office where it was a no-brainer. I didn't have to think about it, and when I wanted to grab a cigar on a lunch break, it was already there. Also, I could kind of see this going pretty much anywhere in my house or my current office, which is actually here at a cigar factory. So I'm really excited to have this product around, and really hope that Boveda continues to work on innovations like this, because I feel like for someone just getting into wooden humidors, this is a fantastic place to start. And it's going to be easy for you to manage these cigars and be successful with them. So thanks so much for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with anyone who you think might be interested in a Boveda humidor, because I think this is a really cool product, and I'm hoping to see more innovation like this from Boveda on the market very soon. Thanks so much.